Alright, so today we're gonna be opening up this film starter deck. So this one came out quite a while ago actually. The time that it came out, no one really was trying to get it or really wanted it because the leader wasn't really, like the deck wasn't really that strong. And we'll get into why in a bit. But right now, this is actually the most expensive starter deck, actually. And I think it's partially because they didn't print that many. Well, it's not that they didn't print that many. It's like the first 4 starter decks, they didn't print that many, but then they reprinted all of them because there was just such high demand. But this one at the time didn't have that high demand, so they didn't really like feel the need to like print so many extras. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So right now, because people want these, they're a lot more expensive. Luckily, I had one. Well, actually, I had 2, but I like keeping one sealed. So I did buy this one for $30. Luckily, found someone. I think the market price is like almost $40 right now, so like that felt like a decent deal. And like, okay, like first let's talk about why this deck isn't that great. The reason it's not that great is let's get these out. So you get the playmat, the play sheet with all the rules. This is very standard at this point, right? We've all seen these. It's really good when you're starting and learning. Then get into the deck here. So let's get this off. Now we start with 10 Dawn cards, right? Standard. Now let's get into the actual deck. So we start off with the leader, which is Shanks, right? Now Shanks is 5,000 power, 5 life. Now, first of all, Shanks is one of my favorite characters. It's such a shame that the leader card is not that great. Now, his effect is activate main once per turn. You can Dawn -3, and all your film characters get plus 2,000 power. Now, to be honest, this ability is very strong. Like, don't get me wrong. You return 3 Dawn and all your characters gain plus 2,000. Like, it's really strong in the end game. The reason it's not that good is because when this set released, this is all in purple. So this leader effect only works for the cards in this deck, essentially. You can't really upgrade this deck and have it be all that well. In OPO2, we got film cards in the color green, and there's now an Uta starter deck that's also going to be green. So this leader is just not that playable unless it gets more support. Now, I really hope this deck gets more support, because then I would love to play it. But as it is right now, when you're only restricted to the cards in this deck, it's not that strong. Now, let's look at the next few cards. Now, Uta. This card is really good. It's a blocker. And on block, Dawn -1, you may rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. It's really strong. And this is the most expensive card in this deck. And it's actually the reason that I bought this starter deck, because it just made more sense to just buy a whole deck rather than these cards. And the main reason this card's expensive and why this whole deck is expensive now is because of Green Purple Doflamingo. This is the deck that I want to play in OPO4 and will play. And the way this deck works is Doflamingo is green and purple, and there's green film cards and purple film cards. So to be able to use them together, this leader like basically has that. I do believe this is the only green and purple leader right now. So that's why that one's strong. Now, Captain Kidd, that's a starter deck where people have been using the film engine, but that is, you're only able to use the green film cards. You can't use the purple film cards. So with Doflamingo, you can use green and purple. So that's why it's really strong. Now, let's get into the other cards. So Douglas Bullet, 8 cost 10k. Activate main once per turn. Dawn -4. Rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. Then this character gains double attack during this turn. Like, this is really strong in the late game, but it's not really seeing much play because it's hard to get it on the board, and it does bring you back. Like -4 Dawn is quite a lot, but it's strong. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I might try to make it work. See if I can, but as of right now, like, I'm not really thinking so. Then you get Ein. On play, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. This is pretty good. It's ramping 1 Dawn, right? And then you have Anne, blocker, 2 cost. This is a film blocker. The only thing that sucks about this card is there's no counter on it, so it kind of sucks because like a blocker like Uta is great because you could keep it in hand as a counter, and if you want, you could play it as a blocker. But yeah, and then Karina. So we only get 2 cards of this. This is once per turn, you may rest this character and trash 1 film type card from your hand. If your opponent has more Dawn cards on their field than you, add 2 Dawn cards from your Dawn deck and rest it. So this is great for a ramp up. We get 2 copies of those. Now Guild Tesoro. This is the second most expensive card in this deck, and that's because this is being ran in the Doflamingo deck. It's such a great card. When you put it down, your opponent will try to get rid of it immediately because it's Dawn -2, draw 2 cards. Imagine you're at 10 Dawn or even 8 Dawn, but obviously 10 is better. You could just Dawn -2 and just return 2 rested Dawn and draw 2 cards, and then the next turn you're back at 10, so it's like as if nothing happened. Really strong card. Gordon, this is just a 1 cost 3k vanilla. Shiki, I haven't seen a lot of people playing Shiki, but I actually really like it because it's, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, this character can't be KO'd in battle. That means your opponent has to get rid of it via effects. This is really strong. That's we only got 2 of those. Put this here for now. Scarlet, this is just a 2 cost 3k. The trigger is you play it. Oh, see Gordon slipped down here a little bit. And then you got Zephyr, 7 cost 8k. When this character battles strike attribute characters, he gains plus 3k power during this turn. And then once per turn, Dawn -1, this character gains plus 2000 power during this turn. So it's a big body. There's 2 of them. It's kind of hard to just play it and get it out on the field. That's the issue with that one. But and have it, finding a good time to play it without losing tempo, I think. Baccarat, 3 cost 5000 power. And then Bins, 4 cost 6k vanilla. And then Buena Festa. This is probably the 3rd most expensive card in the deck, I'm assuming, but not too expensive because there's 4 of it in this deck. It's just a searcher. It's a film searcher. So when you're running the film engine with Doflamingo, this is great because you can search for green and purple film cards. And then Dr. Indigo is just a 2 cost 4k. And then we have some events here. So we have Lion's Threat, Imperial, Earthbind, Dawn -2, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. That is actually quite strong. There's 2 of those. And then you get 4 of these, which is Union Armada. Counter, up to 1 of your film type leader or character cards gains plus 4000 in the battle. And if that card is a character, that character can't be KO'd during this turn. So you could save a character. Because sometimes if people are going for Guild Cicero, they will go for it hard. If you block it with or counter out of it with 1 character, they'll try and go for it with their leader or another character. So this would protect him for that turn. So yeah, this is the film deck. So it's not as you can see, on its own, this deck isn't that great. just playing Shanks as the leader, like, it's not like insanely strong. You know, you have some great cards here, there's some good support, and then a bunch of vanillas and stuff like that, and it's not that strong as it is, but that's why it works really well in the Don Quixote do Flamingo deck. I'm really hoping that it gets some support, because I would really love to play with Shanks as leader, but as of right now, I don't think so. I'm really hoping to get another Shanks leader in the future, though. I would love like a red Shanks leader. I think that'd be insane. But yeah, so that wraps up this video. Thanks for watching.